stop running after your relatives. If they forgot you, then forget them too. Straight up. Family members will talk pure shit and wonder why you don't come to events. Just because someone is family doesn't mean you gotta tolerate lies, chaos, manipulation, drama, and disrespect. I hate the saying you have to love, respect them. They're your family. No, I don't. You don't owe nobody respect just because they're your family. Love and respect is not freely given. It's earned. You don't have to love someone solely because they're your family. Family does not mean keeping secrets and walking on eggshells or lying about who I am to keep the peace. Just because somebody is family doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life if they toxic. Blood means nothing sometimes. Some of the most poisonous people is disguised as family. When everything goes to hell, the one that's standing by you without flinching, they're your family. Some of the hardest people to cut off are family members. But sometimes they're the main ones we need to let go. Don't let motherfuckers guilt you into being in contact with somebody that's not good for your mental health. So stop running after relatives. If they forgot you, forget them too.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is, A Man Foe Shall Be They of His Own Household. So I like to say, Shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, let's go to the book of Luke chapter 21, and we'll start at verse 16. And it reads, And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. So, of course, we know we are right upon the Christmas holiday. This is Christmas Eve. A lot of people always get together with their loved ones, their family members, their mothers, the fathers, the children, the in-laws all come together, and feasting and drinking, laughing and having a great old time. One thing about it, just like the title said, that, a man foe or enemy shall be they of his own household, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, and out about it, they are your enemy. And one thing about it, if they are not in this truth, they are your enemy. They are enemy of who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, whether you believe it or not. So a lot of people in this time of trouble come when all hell break loose. A lot of people are not going to be able to let go of their family or what they call blood, and one thing about it is not to mistreat your family members. This is not what it's saying. All these things is spiritual. And one thing about it, we already know that we're coming upon the time. It's going to be a lot of what? Betraying. It's going to be a lot of family members are going to have you put to death. They're going to tell on you. They're going to give you up because, a lot of them in that time of trouble, when they bring forth this new world order, a lot of them are going to crumble like a cookie. A lot of them going to trust in the strength of Egypt. A lot of them going to trust in this new technology. And the men of the Lord will constantly warn you left and right. And one thing about it, the Lord already said, first they hated me and they also shall hate you. And one thing about it, if you're trying to live godly, you shall suffer persecution. So let's read in the NLT. It says, even though those closest to you, your parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you. They will even kill some of you. So one thing about it, a lot of people right now are sleeping with the enemy. A lot of people are unawares. You could have a brother been hating you for years, or a sister could have been hating you for years, even a mother or a father. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to reveal all things. The Lord is getting ready to make that division. And one thing about it, we already knowing right now we in that time, great persecution, great sorrow, great mourning, great death and destruction. And also we read upon what judgment. So let's read this once again. It says that even those closest to you, your parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you. They will even kill some of you. Let's read verse 17 in the KJV. It says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." So one thing about it, we have a lot of people that hate him that rebuke us at the gate. The men of the Lord, the one that's in the highways and the byway, constantly making these video pistol, and one thing about it, keeping not silent, what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we already knowing that these wicked two-thirds, they do not want to hear the truth, but regardless of that, some of them are just wicked. So one thing about it, we have to pay what we have done in our past life and this life. So we don't know what we have done. That's why we ask the Lord to have mercy upon us. We already know what happened in Yahushua time when he walked this earth. A lot of his own peoples, persecuted him. Even Paul, his ministry. When you look at his ministry, all the persecution he went to, they tried to kill him several times, but he was what? He constantly did the will of the Lord. And one thing about it, that your true family is the one which, in fact, that do the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua Salak. I said that twice, but that's just through the Spirit. But one thing about it, we already know that we're coming upon these times. When they'll tell you that, you will not be able to eat, you will not be able to work or whatever, will not be able to do anything or have a sense of normalcy, these lying wonders. And a lot of your people, they're going to say, who was this person, so-and-so, that was out here in these streets doing this and that? And one thing about, I know who he was. We would give you this. We would give you that. Universal basic income. We need to find this person. There he is. He's right there. And one thing about it, they're going to give you up. You'll be saying, hey, why you give me up? Especially these men that don't want to give up their wife or their family. Why did you do this, baby? I love you. You are my wife. They don't give a damn about that. So one thing about it, the Lord's going to do a lot of exposing. Right now it says, they shall what? Betray you. They shall what? Give you up, to the what? To the slaughter. See, a lot of people right now, they thinking that, family is everything, wife, family, what I'm saying? Which in fact, it's a beautiful thing. But right now, we're not in these times, we're not in a loving and caring time. What I'm saying? One thing about we read upon what war, we're in what you call a spiritual warfare, Christmas is here, the house of mourning. A lot of people, getting ready to open up, these presents, up on this wicked Christmas tree. Look at all this paganism, one day. That's going to have a damn thing to do with the Lord. The Lord said, the one that do the will of my Father is my mother, my father, my sister. We're going to get that in a minute too, in Matthew chapter 12. So one thing about it, so the Lord is making a division. The Lord is separating. The Lord is what? Shifting the house. And the Lord is only coming back for that one-third remnant, what I'm saying? That his precious gem, and one thing about it, we already knowing that a lot of people are getting ready to be what? Put to death. And one thing about it is that a lot of people, if you got to let go of what the mortal thoughts, you got to forsake everything. And one thing about it, is that in order to gain, you got to lose, but really you're not losing. It's all about your faith. What I'm saying? The Lord already said he will give it back to you tenfold. So let's read verse 17 again. It said, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So that's coming upon us. Great persecution of the saints. You're going to be hated by all nations, including your family. The one that right now you getting ready to eat and drink with, laugh and talk with. They will be the one that would have you put to death. And one thing about it, we're constantly warning you left and right, trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Let's get through it here. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit, It's just, just rolling in the Spirit with it. Let's go to Matthew chapter 10. I'm being Matthew's pretty much the majority of this. That's just a quick, short lesson, but it's very true, that video. The man said, said, fuck them. One thing about it, they're not in a right mindset right now. So one thing about it, we love our mothers, we love our children, our wives, but now it's time to cleave to who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord got power over life and death. The Lord gives and he takes away. And also, Lord, can give it back to you what? 100-fold. So one thing about all we must do is trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because we are so very close to what? all hell breaking loose. The calm before the storm, a lot of things right now. Everyone right now, they're, relaxing in their leaves, with their family for the holiday around that pagan Christmas tree, around the what you call around the fire at the house, around their chimney, just sitting around, not the chimney, what I'm trying to say, around their fireplace, Salakia. So let's read this here. It says, Matthew chapter 10 and verse 35 says, for I am come to set a man at variance or divisions against his father, and daughters against her mother, and the daughter-in-law, her mother-in-law. This is right here, the title of the daily lesson said, verse 36, and a man foe shall be they of his own house. Let's read it in the NLT. It said, your enemies will be right in your own household. So that's so very true. So you could be a believer, and all of a sudden you could have your wife, or it could be your girlfriend or whatever, it could, whereby, they saying they have feel like, they're on your side right now. They're talking good, or I believe, blase. But when a little pressure is applied, when you have not eaten, when they'll tell you this is mandatory, you're going to have to do this under the skin. A lot of decisions is getting ready to be made. And also they tell you, if you do not do this, we have these guillotines, you will be put to death. So a lot of people are going to make a decision, to try to save their life. And one thing about it, they'll give you up to save their life. One thing about it's coming upon that, even your own children, your sons, your daughter, your granddaughters, your grandson, and so forth. But the Lord is setting that variance, that division. The Lord said he come to what? To make a division. We're very close to that time. When you go to Luke chapter, I think that's Luke chapter 12. We might get that in a minute. Luke chapter 12 and 15. So that's what the Lord is causing this division. And it says here, verse 30 says, he that love his father more, verse 37 again, it says, he that love his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that love his son or daughters more than me is not worthy of me. So one thing about it, you got to pick up the cross and follow who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. And one thing about it, we already know right now, when the Lord called on his disciple, he called them, all of them following him. They left everything and followed him. I think Peter, he had a wife, a lot of them, he left their own household. They had to do the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Your first family is this truth, the elect. That's, the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. That is your true family. Let's read it in NLT. Say, if you love your father or mother more than you love me, you are not worthy of being mine. Or if you love your son or daughters more than me, you are not worthy of being mine. Amen. I'll tell you, it's plain and simple. At the bottom, you're not worthy. You caught up in the ways of this world. Busybody. You love your family more than you love the Lord. And one thing about it, the Lord gave you your family. The Lord gave you your resource. He gave you your blessings and everything like that. But a lot of people, they thinking that they did these things on their own. But the Lord, he gave you all sorts of liberty, all sorts of blessings. And one thing about a lot of people are right now constantly despising the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. They say throwing it behind them for what? For wives, for what? For their job, for bank account, for fame and glory. But one thing about it, when that time of trouble come, you get ready to find out who is your true family. The one that's going to stick with you all the way to the finish out, the one that will go to the death with you. And a lot of them are not going to do that. They're going to say, no, it was not me. It was him. They're going to give you up. We're here. It said, verse 38 said, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. Of Yahu, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. If you refuse to take up your cross and follow me, you are not worthy of being mine. So that's where we at right now, so you got to look at that, so a lot of people, you got to count the cost, You know, you're willing to lose everything to gain everything. That's what this is all about. You know, the Lord, it's constantly testing. He's constantly shifting the how. So right now, this is the straight gate. Levels of adversity. We are here. It is at the door. We are so very close. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And one thing about it, you're getting ready to find out who is your true family. Those are the ones, once again, that do the will of the Lord. I read verse 39. It said, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life shall, for my name's sake, shall find it. So one thing about it, if you're seeking the Lord, you're seeking life. If you're not seeking the Lord, then you're seeking death. And one thing about it, a lot of our people right now are getting ready to find out. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, you getting ready to find out the whole way. If you cleaving to your family, and one thing about it, you're not picking up the cross and following Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, that straight gate. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be betrayed. You're going to be put to death by your own members of your own household. We'll constantly warn you left, right? These things about to get serious. Let's get verse 4. Let's get a little highlight here. Let's get a little bit more of this. It says, he that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. So one thing about it, so it's plain and simple. So one thing about it, if you go to someone and you tell them about this gospel, and they receive it, then one thing about it, they receive who? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the one that sent you, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, hey, we're here, man. We are at the door. So one thing about it, let's read this once again. So anyone who receives you receives me. So anyone who receives me receives the Father who sent me. So one thing about it, so anyone that receives you, receive what? Me, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So it's plain and simple. So one thing about it is that, so in that time of trouble, we're going to see your faith is getting ready to be tried. It's getting ready to be magnetized by faith and works. So a lot of our people don't have faith and work, like a lot of your family members, they're not in the truth, but I love her, this and that. But will you go to the distance of where you have to choose life or death when it comes to this truth? Are you going to choose your family? Are you going to choose your bank account? Are you going to choose your reputation? Are you going to choose fame and fortune? You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we already know these these wicked two-thirds, they do not want to they don't want to go through the straight gate. They want their consolation on this side. They want the crumbs off of Esau's table. And not about it, they are going to have you put to death. They're going to deliver you up. That's what we're talking about right now. The one that saves his life shall lose his life. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So one thing about it, we have lost our lives on this side, even though we're in this world. But one thing about it, we came out of this world, spiritually, even though we still here, we're around our family, we love our family, love one. But one thing about it, we will see them on the other side if they don't make it in. One thing about it, everyone is standing in their lot. There's nothing we can do about it but do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now, let's go here to our last and final script. No, let's go here to Matthew chapter 19. Let's go to Matthew chapter 19. I'm gonna get one more out of there too, because Matthew's got some good meat in here. Let's go here, Matthew chapter 19 and 29. Let's get this here. And then, so this is where we at right here. You got to give up, everything. The Lord's gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, if the Lord bless you with that family, don't you know that he could bless you with that family once again? Look what happened in Job's situation. Job lost everything, but the Lord had blessed him 100-fold. You've seen that, what I'm saying, when you go into the book of Job, they tell you about the story, how Job he had to suffer, but he kept his integrity. So that's where we're getting ready to be tried. Jacob's trouble is at the door, the hour of temptation. It's that mark of the beast. You're getting ready to be tried. The hour of a testing. The Lord is getting ready to find out. He already know one thing about it. Hey, we're here. Let's read this here. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 29 says, and everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mothers, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life, the kingdom of heaven, immortality, rulership, power over the nation. That's what we want, those new bodies. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, it says here once again, forsaking what? Giving up. Giving up what? Houses, giving up your brothers, giving up your sister, your father, giving up your mother, your wife, your children, all your lands, you know what I'm saying? For my name's sake, what? You did the will of the Lord. The Lord said you will receive what? 100-fold. And what? Immortality, rulership, spiritual power is right around the corner. The Lord already said your light affliction is for a moment. You lose everything. Your entire family get taken away you in front of your eye. And count it as joy. You will get them back on the other side because what? You did the will of Yahweh. The Lord said he will give you 100-fold. All we must do is trust the process. Let's read this once again in NLT. It said, everyone who has given up houses or brothers or sisters or father or mothers or children or property for my name's sake will receive 100 times as much in return and will inherit eternal life. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at right now. We almost at the finish line. One thing about it, we knowing that we, through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. So now let's go to our last and final script. Just staying in the book of Matthew today because, it's just hitting the points. I could have brought out a few other things, but we're just going to stay here, just a quick lesson through the Spirit. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. Let's go here to Matthew's chapter 12 and verse 40. Let's start a bit, I think around 46. This is your true family here. Let's go here. Matthew chapter 12, and we'll start up at verse 46. Let's start at 46. And it reads said, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Verse 47, he said, then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. Verse 48, he said, but he answered and said, this is Yahushua speak. He said unto him, said that to him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren. Verse 49 said, and he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. Verse 50 said, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother, my sister, and my mother. You know what I'm saying? Let's start this back over. I kind of butcher it a little bit. Let's start back up at verse 49. Say, and he stretched forth his hand towards his disciple and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. Verse 50, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So one thing about it, if your true family is the one that's doing the will of the Lord, the one that's constantly believing, the one that's constantly magnifying his name each and every day, and the one that constantly trusting and believing in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? So that is your family, which in fact is the elect, the house of David. So the Lord is coming back for his true family, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So that's what the Lord, they told the Lord that his mother and his brother was waiting on him. He said, wait, hold up. These are the men right here. The one that was, laboring in the truth with him, following after Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the one that forsaking everything, forsaking family, or forsaking land, resource, whatever, gave it all up and follow who? Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua. So one thing about it, we already know we coming upon this time, and a man foe, a man enemy shall be they of his own household. And a lot of people right now are sleeping with the enemy, eating with the enemy. Like tomorrow, a lot of people, if you're in this truth, you're a public enemy, number one. And once again, you already know they hated our Lord and Savior. They hated the prophets of old. And also, they back right now in reincarnation, if you can believe that. The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So you are going to suffer. If you're going to live godly and follow after Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, you're going to suffer persecution, tribulation. You know, so also, you know, even death, you know, be what you call a martyr, you know, for this truth. And one thing about it, you know, and we already know, you know, we will make it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, you know, if we constantly what? Endure. If we constantly what? Persevere. The same that endure, the same, the same shall be saved. So like, you know, so it was just a quick let's do spare the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. We already know that, you know, we love our family, we love our loved ones and whatever like, but one thing about it, we already knowing that we coming to punish time. We got to prepare ourselves, you know, to get things to get ready to get uneasy, things to get ready to be out of control, things going to be like, you know, something that you have never seen before. Well, that's what our faith is getting ready to be tried. But the Lord said he will sustain us. He will provide for us in those times of trouble because what? You did the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. You trust in the Lord. And one thing about the Lord said he will give you 100-fold. And we know that we're very close to what? The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. We seeing all these different things that are going on all around the world. We're not worried about Christmas. We're not worried about New Year's Eve. We constantly want to what? To do the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And we constantly what? We constantly getting closer and closer to our true family, which in fact is the elect. So the Lord's getting ready to bring us back together, and a lot of us getting brought back together through what? Through the Spirit, through this word, through this gospel. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that the Lord is doing a mighty work. So it's, you know, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off. You know, I've been long-winded. I see that, you know, a lot of guys that, you know, in the other states, you know, you can just through the Spirit, you feel like that, you know, I already know him. You meet a guy in this truth, and you say, that's my brother. You know, I meet, you know, I see a elect lady, it's a hopeful elect. You know, these few ladies in the truth. You know, you might say, oh, she wanted, you know, she's a friend. You know, so it's a lot of things the Lord is bringing us back together. You know, he's bringing what? He's raising up the old tabernacle of David. You know, the house of David. It's on the rise. We seeing it right now, man. We're here, man. The Lord is doing a mighty work. So we're gonna shut it down right there. But the title of the daily lesson once again is, a man foe shall be they of his own household. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.